Thanos comes into his young self coming into the present, right? And when I was painting it, on his hand is the skull of the fortunate thing about working, the fortunate and unfortunate thing about working at Marvel, this visual development team is, we start the process of developing it like a year before, even 2 years sometimes before the actual choosing who the actors are or any of that stuff.
If I could have you like commission a piece of art for me, I would love to just sit in on the shawarma scene at the end of Avengers, just like just sitting at the side table, like just looking at everybody, just chowing down on the shawarma. I would get it blown up to make it look like a big, like oil painting, and just like have it look like the Last Supper.
That'd be awesome, man. Yeah. Oh, that idea is really cool. Maybe it could be for even something that's for later, and then you have Shang-Chi there, and then you have everyone like eating shawarma together.
Completely. Get all the. We're going into phase 4, right? Is this the next?
Yeah, the Kang.
You got phase 4 secrets for me?
No.
No, okay, yeah, fair enough. We just talked about secrecy.
Yeah,
Marvel works.
At VizDev, we get the whole script, so I get to read through it and stuff. But the only time that I didn't get the full script was for Infinity War and Endgame, especially. I had a scene I was doing where Thanos comes into his Endgame, his young self coming into the present, right? And when I was painting it, on his hand is the skull of Captain America. That was in his hand. And I was like, is Captain America gonna die? I was like, no, he's gonna die. And then when I saw the film, I was like, oh, they tricked me. It's Iron Man's gonna die. And I guess, and I heard they were giving false scripts to certain people, not giving, all their who the characters are that's dying, just so no one really knows, And I didn't know they did that with us too, but there's a possibility. I guess they were choosing between the two big guys, Iron Man or Captain America.
That's insane. I honestly, I think the health of the comic book universe really depends on the ability to surprise the audience these days. Comic book fans are smart. They're going to know what to expect if they get any clues as to what the project is going to entail. So like, I think that's where the universe you've been working in excels the best, is you actually surprise the audience. You don't announce certain cast members until people watch it revealed on screen.
Yeah. Oh man, that's true.
Do you have, okay, speaking of like next phase, I gotta ask, do you have any insights, any spoilers, anything you can tell me about Guardians of the Galaxy, the new one?
Man.
3. Big news. Something that's gonna like, make my jaw drop.
I worked on Groot.
Yes.
Which is kind of out now. You could see him in Disney Plus, but you've seen the trailers.
Him with like 12 arms.
Yeah, multiple arm Groot.
It.
And that was awesome. Like getting to design that. I helped designs. My design was approved for High Evolutionary. I don't even know if I could say that. Did they say that in the film, in the trailer? Oh man, I'm so scared now.
Probably not.
What's nice is it is my last. It's nice that was the last show I worked on before leaving Marvel. So it's like a full circle. Guardians 1 to Guardians 3, and it would be fun to work with James again in the future.
The comic book universe has never been this healthy. You know, like we
Yeah.
have content for everybody, for every age range. From,
Yeah.
you know, I think some of the older book heads complaining about how they had to wait in line for the new release, and like they had to, you know, they had to endure
Yeah.
bullying at school. But like now, like comic books are so mainstream that it's the cool thing, and I love to see that, you know, in a medium in our form is kind of leading the way and being able to broadcast diversity in a way that like other genres and mediums haven't been able to do. The artistic process, like, I mean, your medium is very visual, and my medium is very emotional. But I feel like the process to manifest the character is almost the same. Like you're considering a lot of
Yeah.
the attributes prior to an actor ever even touching the character. You're wanting to make sure that the visual look is conveying a story as well. Am I right?
Yeah. I would say you're visual too, visual and emotionals. I think it would parallel both because you have to make sure you show your expression in your acting, and to get that expression, you need to feel it first. So I I design the same way. I go with feeling first, and then when I've got that feeling, then maybe I could look for reference. But most of the time, if you've worked for a long time, you don't need to look for reference. It's off your head and you just go, even if it's not accurate. And sometimes you need help, right? You listen to a good piece of music or talk to friends, right, that are experienced in this kind of stuff. But it is a very emotional, for me anyway. For me, it's emotional. I have a surprise for you, actually. There it is, right?
Man, that's why Marvel hired you, man. That worked. That's seamless.
Kidding aside, I'm gonna show you what it really is. All right, fans, here it is. There he is. Can you see it?
That is so sick. And you just painted this, didn't you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Did you just
This is you. I mean, I didn't paint your face because I was in a hurry, but I was thinking of putting a Omni Man right there. You know,
in the
your
reflection?
dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was taking too much from your face. So, but your head's like bleeding, and you're
I see my like my cheesy grin in there. Like he's bleeding, but the grin is still there. Thank you, man, dude. Thank you. The suit design is fun. The lines are crazy. I appreciate you giving me that superhero Dorito shape. You know, it's
yeah,
that. That's
yeah.
the
They just have
physique.
to. They have to just put these shoulders, I
Hmm.
think, and you'll get that V for sure.
I you know the last few years of superhero boot camp over on Titans definitely got me those proportions, and
Yeah.
look, I'm definitely ready to answer the call, Kirkman.
I was wondering, was there a favorite character you would like to play, or
Oh,
if
in
you
the
had the
DC
chance?
universe,
Superboy. No, super somebody.
yeah, man, I mean, I'd really love to see DC fans just happy, and I'd love for DC to have some solid wins. So for the time being, I'm just gonna objectively take a step back. I'm still subjectively very much involved. I love these characters. There's actually one character in particular that when I moved to the States, I watched Teen Titans. I love Teen Titans. But the
Yeah,
other
me too.
DC animated show that I grew up with was Batman Beyond, and I somewhere I have a photo of me dressed in that like costume when I was like maybe 8. Um, I just remember the art style was cool. Terry wasn't like this huge guy. He like, he didn't have all the ability, but it was the heart. It was the attempt at saving people, and Batman being kind of his mentor. There's a lot about Batman Beyond that worked for me as a kid. I loved that show.
Yeah.
And I'd really love to see DC, if they are going in a new direction, to kind of move away from the big three. But hey, look, if we're talking, dream projects, Beyond, like it's
Yeah.
yeah, that
That
would
would be
that would be
awesome to
it.
see. I still have
What do you think? What do you think DC needs to do from your experience in the comic book world for the last 10 years?
for DC, I think it's a good move getting James Gunn to kind of helm a lot of the stuff. He is really good at, I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie I ever worked on at Marvel, really is memorable to me. And they were unknown characters. And
Sure.
that to me is his strength. Like taking these characters, making them a family. And if anything, him making DC Universe more of a family would benefit the DCU.
Yeah.
I think. I know you write stuff too. You contribute so much in the process.
I'm very, very grateful for the kind of um, broad-reaching superhero knowledge I have. Like I'm not too familiar with any one property in particular. I've just
Yeah.
kind of dabbled in a little bit of all of it. So I tried to have the writing that I contributed to reflect that. I wanted to tell Titans stories um, that would be
That fans
multi-generational.
would like.
Yeah, that
Oh
fans
yeah,
would like
yeah,
multi-generational, because what
yeah,
Marv Wolfman and George Perez did with the new Teen Titans was phenomenal. It really established the big bads, the family dynamics, and then what Johns did with his Titans verse really kind of expanded on the teen aspect. Like these characters suddenly felt younger, and they felt
yeah.
um, not more vulnerable, but more relatable.
Relatable. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think
Yeah,
that's when I got into
exactly.
it more because of that.
Yeah, totally. And then when the animated show came around, they took all the existing material and just it's an animated masterpiece in my mind. Like
Yeah,
every episode really dives into the psychology of the characters and gives the characters character driven motives and plot points that serve the arc of each one, but also servicing the family as a whole. And whenever I pitched lines and just kind of, it had little quips on set, I tried for them
yeah.
to be reminiscent of the characters from the comic books and the animated series. And I got to contribute to two scripts this season, and a couple plot points throughout the season as well. And
That's
I
awesome.
I'm thrilled. I really can't wait for people to see in part two, Beast Boy's. I would say it's a standalone episode.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, we get to really live in his mind and his heart for a little while, and we bridge all of the seasonal plot points and traumas that he's gone through in one episode. It was a bit of a big task, um, while introducing new characters and while having surprises for the fans. I think we really did something special, and I hope when the fans watch it, they're like, "This feels like the animated show," because
Yeah,
a lot of his storytelling is done visually. Like
yeah,
he wears the expression, he wears the joke on his face, and like he
yeah.
transforms into an animal to tell a joke.
I was just thinking of the gags, because I would do that a lot in Marvel Studios, visual development team, we don't just design the characters and creatures and stuff. We do the keyframes, and we even
Yeah.
storyboard, and we do like little animatics of stuff. Like in the end of Endgame, we did a bunch of gags on how to, how do you say this? Like team ups to get the gauntlet away from Thanos.
Totally,
my
totally.
brain is. It's like I'm
I
thinking.
know what you
'Cause
mean. Yeah, like doing interesting pairs. So like visually they look good on camera, but how do their powers sync up? And like how
Yeah.
would they be able to work with one another if one is, Valkyrie, right? Like on the
Yeah,
back of
yeah.
the back of this, like, and like, yeah,
Like
that
something
whole
iconic.
sequence is so much fun.
Yeah, it's fun. I had one where I had Ant-Man riding one of the Leviathans, but that didn't go through.
So you worked on Quantum Mania.
When I watched it, it was awesome. I really enjoyed the epicness of it, and it's still light and heartfelt, and the designs, the world still looks amazing to me. Yeah. Oh, did you get to see my latest design for Groot in the Christmas special on Disney
Yes,
Plus?
yes, dude, I loved it. I loved it.
That's based off my son still, because he's older now. He's 15. He's almost my height, and that facial structure kind of looks like him a little bit. But he's a gymnast, so his arms are actually pretty buff. So
Yeah,
that I'm glad James liked it. Because I was like saying, inspiration is my son and this tree called the balita tree from the Philippines,
mm,
and that is the tree's so like you have roots coming down the side. So I was using those as a part of his Groot's body, right? So it's like, yeah. So man, it is a memory I'm gonna
it's
cherish
it's
forever.
quite literally rooted in the culture. It's beautiful, man.
Rooted in the culture. Yes.
Dude, it's been
Yeah.
awesome to see Groot's journey as a result of you and your son's journey, and that's something that you kind of had told me when we first met, and I think I think it's beautiful. Whether people want to believe it or not, I know that Groot is Filipino, and that
Yes.
that that the Pinoy pride, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Pinoy pride. Pinoy pride chicken. No, just kidding. Um,